Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. We're the Movie Couple. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
Oh my gosh. And we're here to talk about... was not expecting that. And this is our non-spoiler review for M3GAN. It's about an artificial intelligence, lifelike doll programmed to be a child's greatest companion and a parent's greatest ally. So this is actually our very first screening of 2023.
It's
Yeah.
a very interesting screening to start off the year.
Yes.
But it's the first screening nonetheless. But of course, it is also a January release. So I have to admit, from the trailers that we saw about this, it really does kind of fit into this January nook.
Yes.
I think.
It really does. When we first saw the trailer, I think we were both, intrigued. There were some parts, especially if you... like very lifelike dolls kind of is off-putting to you, and they kind of do give that creep factor, and add when AI goes awry on top of that. That essentially is the vibe that we were getting from seeing the trailer for M3GAN. And of course, if you enjoy reactions, you can check out our reaction here for M3GAN if you haven't seen already. And if you enjoy movie reviews just like this one, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I would say, based on the trailer, my viewing experience today is exactly what I was hoping for, maybe even a little bit more, because I wasn't really sure. I feel like the AI, doll coming to life, has been done before, so I feel like in a way the story is going to be somewhat predictable as far as horror elements and all of that goes. But there were some couple other things that I wasn't really expecting. They really leaned into some of the things that are kind of in your face today, like not so much social media, but like screen time, toys, and what is toys sometimes replacing, interacting with other kids in their age group. That kind of plays, it's not the overall theme, but it does play into it, and they kind of lean into that towards the beginning of the movie by playing something very unexpected out of left field, and it got a huge chuckle out of our theater, ourselves included, and that's when I knew. I was like, if this is the rest of the movie, I think we're in for a really good time. Yeah,
I have to admit, that is something that they started off the movie hitting it right over the head. They were going for cliches. They were going for, this is what the movie is going to be, and this is going to be a little tongue-in-cheek. It wasn't slapstick or taken itself too comedically. I think this movie probably would have fit in very well, like in the 90s, but without as much of the cheese. It really didn't have like any cheesiness to it, even though it did.
Yeah, it wasn't overall cheesy, no.
Yeah, and they also did mention some of these social commentaries of, some technology being able to replace parenting, to where instead of, actually having to talk to your kids and interact with your kids, just sit them down in front of the tablet so they can so you're just like, okay, now I at least get some peace and quiet.
Or get work done.
And get some work done, or whatever the reason why parents would be doing that. What are some of the flaws that that may come with that kind of parenting? They didn't really have that be the main focus of the movie.
Right.
But they did have a nice little sprinkle of that throughout the movie. But this movie there's moments where you're going, oh, okay, that person's gonna die. Oh, okay, well, you know what's gonna happen a little bit ahead of time before it does. But this is exactly what this movie is. They advertised it to you this way in the trailers. What you see in the trailers is exactly what you get in this movie. There's no false advertising or any big unexpected moments.
Yeah, I would say it's predictable, but not in a bad way. So especially if you're not like a super big fan of anything too like as far as the horror genre goes, like I think this one I'd be okay to watch, because it's not really in the sense of true slasher. It's just like a fun time in the theater with horror and thriller elements. It is rated PG-13, so yes, there's a tiny little bit of gore and a little bit of language, but it's not, plastered throughout the whole movie. Because there were a couple of, in the audience, I noticed a couple of, they're not super young, but like they're teens, but like early teens. And everybody was laughing. It seemed like having a good time. I guess a lot of smiles coming out of the theater. So to give you guys a little bit of context.
I do have to admit, though, that is something I have to admit. There are some moments where people were laughing in the audience when I was sitting there going, are we supposed to be laughing at this? I mean,
We're
this
having
kind
fun.
of does fit. I mean, people are having fun, but I mean, honestly, I do have to let you guys know right off the bat, if you watched any of our trailer reactions, this is not my kind of movie. This is not the kind of movie I enjoy going to. And honestly, if you want to if you want to see if the horror genre is actually something that your kids might be interested in, and you kind of want to, give them a chance to ride the bike without the training wheels on, this is probably a good movie to take them to because it kind of hits all of those horror genres, cliches, without being too traumatizing.
Yeah, but of course, do that at your own discretion, of course. So to give you guys a little bit of background on the story, it does center around not M3GAN, Cady, whose parents, unfortunately, she lost her parents in a tragic car accident. So then her legal guardian is her aunt, her mom's sister. So Gemma, the aunt, has a really brilliant mind. She is like an engineer. She is a robot expert. I don't know if there's
always
terminology
into
for that. Yeah. So,
but not the most social person. She's really.
She was not responsible for. She was not ready for the responsible of having a child.
Yeah.
And it was a very abrupt, quick change that she had to make. And she was not. She's good at so many things, but that's the one thing that she's not good at. And so the movie shows that. Well, she was working on this prototype named M3GAN, and what if this could be an ally to her in helping her with some of the parenting skills and take a little bit of the pressure off, because she had to approach it from a different mind. So I think the intention came from a good place, but the AI, right off the bat, M3GAN was a
creep.
Yeah. So
there's even a moment to when, before even the whole M3GAN thing happens, there's a moment to where there's a malfunction and you're kind of going, oh, okay, they're setting it off at the beginning that there's something wrong here.
So this movie tells you what you need to know, but they don't really go too extensive into the backstory or too much of the character arc. There are a little bit of arcs, but if that's what you're looking for in this movie, you are not going to find that here. They give you what you need to know to make your viewing, so you as a viewer can understand what is going on. You have some context, and then they move on to the next, to the next, to the next. I think they're very aware of how they want this movie to go and the beats it's gonna take place, and it does it fine because it was really, really entertaining to watch. I want to shout out to all the actors. I think there's multiple actresses playing M3GAN. I think there's a person who voices her, and then there's a couple of maybe not mocap, but a stunt double.
Yeah,
fantastic job. The movements were so good, and because she's a robot, she moves in certain ways where I was like, oh, normally it would creep me out, but this one I was just like, all right, let's go, sort of a thing. So, you know what? For the first movie of 2023, I say I had a ridiculously good time. It was great to be back in the theater, to hear people, laugh it up, and not because they're laughing at the movie, they're just enjoying themselves. So as far as our rating goes, which is listed for you in the video description, I am going to give this movie a check it out. If you're, it's January, you're wondering what movie you could see, and you've seen all the ones that's been mentioned in 2023, or you don't need to catch up, and you want to have a good time in the theaters, go check out M3GAN. That's what I would say.
Now, for me, I do have to preface this is not my kind of movies. Honestly, throughout the movie, there are tension that I did not enjoy. But I did enjoy some of the concepts and ideas behind it. It wasn't as bad as seeing an actual horror movie. And I did like some of the performances. Yeah, the actresses that put together M3GAN did a really good job. And I have to admit, the girl who played Cady in this did a phenomenal job on her part, but this movie's not really for me, but I can see the enjoyment behind it. I'm going to give it a stream it.
And there you go, you guys. That is our rating for the movie M3GAN. If you see the movie, let us know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.